It's the biggest fitness race in the world. Across 11 countries, people of different ages and fitness levels run 8 kilometers and complete a functional exercise after each kilometer to finish the HYROX race. Sleds get pushed, kettlebells get carried, balls get thrown. But not only do athletes' endurance and strength get tested, also their motivation, their grit, and their ability to push through discomfort. While there are quite a number of training plans out there to optimally prepare your body for HYROX, none of them focus on training the mental skills needed to perform at your peak. So here's an 8-week training plan to overcome mental hurdles during your HYROX preparation. Hey there, welcome back to our channel. Great to have you here. My name is Ava and I'm a psychologist and head of content at FlowLab. In case you haven't heard of FlowLab yet, it's a mental fitness app dedicated to helping you achieve peak performance and flow states with science-based guided meditations. You'll receive an individualized training plan and train the mental skills needed to perform and at the same time feel at your best when it counts. The link to the app is in the description, together with a 50% discount code off the yearly subscription. Go check it out if you like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. Your support means a lot and helps us to produce more video content in the future. Fitness enthusiasts from all over the world train for one of the endurance competitions, HYROX, a newly coined word stemming from hybrid rock stars. 50% is running, the other 50% are functional exercises. While there are many detailed training plans and fitness tips out there, there are no guides to mentally prepare for HYROX yet, even though training for such a challenge is certainly also accompanied by a number of mental hurdles. Be it that you struggle to get started, to let go of all or nothing mindset during training, to avoid overpacing or cope with nervousness as the race approaches. In order to change that, I'm going to discuss the most common mental challenges during HYROX preparation today, including tips to overcome them and an 8 weeks mental training plan if you want to participate in HYROX yourself. Feel free to use and adapt this plan also for other endurance competitions like a marathon, triathlon, Tough Mudder, and so on. Also, let me know in the comments which other mental hurdles you're experiencing and perhaps even which strategies help you to deal with them. A magic dwells in each beginning, they say. But when the alarm clock rings in the morning and you actually have to put on your running shoes, this magic mysteriously vanishes in no time. Getting started and finding the motivation to build a new routine can be easier said than done. It may be that we are too comfortable, that we struggle to make time for training, or that we think the event is still too far away. That's why it's worthwhile to set a personal, challenging goal for yourself. This can give you the first push to get the ball rolling and is a crucial precondition for flow states, this mental state of complete absorption in what you're doing, where you perform at your peak and your actions feel effortless. Many people set a so-called outcome goal. So as the name suggests, they aim for a certain result, for example, a finisher time they want to reach. But next to that, you may want to set a process goal too. A goal on what the journey should look like. You define not only a what, but also a how. For example, to improve the way you talk to yourself, to listen to your body's needs during training, or to focus on your learnings rather than setbacks. It's the focus on the process instead of the outcome that makes our training enjoyable. And once we trigger that intrinsic motivation, we don't need self-discipline and the voice of reason anymore to get started, because the drive comes from within. And once you've taken the first step, it'll be so much easier to create momentum. Check out our flow session, The Long Haul, to internalize this focus on the process and improve your mental endurance. When you set your goals and visualize the process ahead, I should mention you should also plan for obstacles and setbacks. There are many blogs and videos out there suggesting to visualize how you achieve your goals and how the success feels like. While this can be great to get moving, it's not what keeps us going. And when we suddenly realize that there are also rocky roads, setbacks, and frustration, we can tap into the all or nothing trap, lose motivation, and perhaps even drop the goal entirely. That's why you should mentally prepare for obstacles as well. For example, with our flow session Whoop. This guided meditation is based on the Whoop method, where you formulate a wish, the ideal outcome, potential obstacles along the way, and finally a plan on how to overcome them. Okay, so you visualize the obstacles along the way. And maybe some of them already test your resolve in the beginning of your journey. Because especially when you aren't used to some of these exercises, it's easy to get caught up in frustration when things don't work out in the beginning. In flow theory, we speak of the flow cycle to explain that these fulfilling and productive flow states are not like a light switch. You're either in flow or you're not. It's a process that involves different phases before you actually get in the zone. And it starts with the struggle phase. It feels like an uphill battle with a lot of stress, overwhelm, and frustration involved, and you may not see any progress yet. When hitting the wall, it takes grit to overcome it and maintain the momentum. The question is whether you interpret this situation as a roadblock and as a sign that you're not strong enough, or as feedback on where to improve, as part of the process, and as an opportunity to earn your goal that will make the success taste even sweeter. For me, knowing about the flow cycle helps to accept these phases better, because we can attach meaning to the struggle. We collect new information, connect the dots, maybe teach our body new skills, and lay the foundation for growth. Check out our flow session, The Struggle, to feed your mind with the input needed to move past the overwhelm. Some don't struggle to find motivation for training, they rather struggle to take it slowly from time to time. But in order to perform at your best, these recovery phases are absolutely crucial. In fact, recovery is the final phase of the flow cycle I mentioned earlier. The body can reproduce the necessary neurotransmitters needed for peak performance and flow, and the brain can transfer any newly learned skills, movement, and information to the long-term memory. And of course, our muscles get the necessary time to recover too. So take enough time to recover and allow yourself to slow down. Listen to your body's needs and ask yourself how you can train sustainably, keeping an eye on your health and overall well-being, because this is also what will help you unleash your potential when it counts. For a little guidance during this process, have a go at our flow sessions, How Can I Help? That is about becoming mindful of what the body needs right now, or Easy as 1, 2, 3, for a breathing exercise that helps you relax deeply and improve your sleep. If you're serious, you can stop drinking caffeine around 4 weeks prior to the event. Caffeine improves focus, memory, and reaction time, which makes it a great tool if you want to optimize your performance. It lets dopamine and acetylcholine spike in the forebrain, which improves cognition and clarity of thought, while also releasing dopamine in the reward pathway of the brain so that the experience becomes more pleasurable. The thing is, if you are a regular coffee drinker, you build a tolerance. Researchers observed the greatest physical and mental performance-enhancing effects from caffeine when people refrained from drinking coffee for a while. Specifically, when remaining abstinent for 21 days, the effects were much greater for aerobic exercises when people had a coffee around 30 to 60 minutes before the test. If you're interested in more facts about caffeine, check out our video where we explain how coffee relates to the afternoon crash. At some point during preparation, you'll realize that life can get in the way. Other responsibilities at work or in your private life demand your attention, or perhaps you fall sick and miss a few training sessions. What happens next is crucial. It's easy to slip into an all-or-nothing mindset and think that now that you're way behind your training plan, you can drop the goal entirely. But these are exactly the obstacles we planned for in the beginning when we set our goals. So instead of giving into this impulse, don't lose momentum. If you got a runner's knee and can't run your laps anymore, all right, then focus on resistance training. If an appointment disrupts your sports routine, perhaps you can at least do 5 push-ups or squats to maintain momentum. And even if you skipped a few workouts in a row, great. Just get started again and accept this as part of the messy process. Except if you're a professional athlete, people rarely ever adhere to their training plan 100%. Prioritize consistency over intensity and focus on maintaining momentum rather than pursuing perfection. That's how you win the mental game. If you notice perfectionist tendencies in yourself, have a go at our flow session 50 Shades of Success and train to adopt a more nuanced view on what success looks like. Otherwise, you may also like Controlling the Controllables, another flow session that helps you let go of the frustration when sickness, for example, disrupts your training plan. Around 2 weeks before the event, the division waves time will be communicated. So you'll get to know the approximate time frame where you'll start the race. Especially if you're used to training at a particular time, it can be useful to start training at the same time at which you're also competing at HYROX to prime your body and mind for optimal performance. In psychology, there is this theory about context-dependent learning. When learning skills or information in one context, environment, or even mental and emotional state, they are more easily retrieved later on when in the same context, environment, or even mental and emotional state. For example, in one study, researchers made a group of deep sea divers learn a list of words underwater, while another group had to learn a list of words on land. Then they had to recall the words both underwater and on land. They found that participants could recall the words much better when they were tested in the same environment as they initially learned them. So if you want to optimize that, you can already start 2 weeks earlier when you get your approximate starting time to make your training as realistic as possible. Training at the same time, doing the exercises in the same order, perhaps even having the same breakfast, and so on. We can't stress it enough. The way you talk to yourself has a huge impact on your performance. As the race approaches, nervousness may increase too. And so may worries, self-doubt, perfectionism, self-consciousness, or self-criticism. In order to stay optimistic, push through discomfort, and adopt a gritty mindset, professional athletes deliberately practice encouraging, motivating self-talk. They often find specific words or phrases to recall the feelings and thoughts that help them perform at their best. For example, there was a study in 2008 with golfers who were divided into 3 groups. The first one was introduced to focus on certain aspects of their movements, such as keeping their wrists straight. The second one should focus on words that were irrelevant to their performance, like blue or white. And finally, the third one should focus on words that served as an anchor to recall the intended movement, such as smooth or balanced. You guessed right, when under pressure, the first 2 groups performed worse compared to the golfers who used the anchor words. If you think about it, what will the main challenge on a mental level be for you when under pressure? Maybe self-consciousness when surrounded by spectators, embracing the pain, letting go of unhealthy comparisons with other athletes. Find something that fits you and your challenge best. You could say to yourself, trust and let go, to calm down and trust that you are sufficiently prepared for the event. You could say, let's have some fun, to take things less seriously and focus on enjoying the process, because being able to interpret the effort itself, the blood, sweat, and tears you invest as a reward, will make you release dopamine, which pushes focus, motivation, and energy. We'll release a dopamine masterclass soon for everyone interested in building sustainable dopamine habits for productivity and flow states. We'll provide more information in the description as soon as we've launched it. If you've tried the FlowLab app, you may have noticed that we use anchors in our guided meditations too. At the beginning of each session, we remind you to be here now and find your flow.
So get ready to be here now and find your flow.
This can help you recall this feeling of ease and this open-mindedness easier. So all in all, find a word or phrase that feels right for you. Then already tell yourself this phrase before or during training when you feel at your best to associate this phrase with these feelings and thoughts. That's it for now. Go check out the FlowLab app to access the flow sessions I recommended today. There's a 7-day free trial, and we also have a 50% discount code of the yearly subscription. Just check out the description for more info on that. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and send it to other HYROX enthusiasts. I really appreciate your support. Fingers crossed for your HYROX event. Go get it and see you in the next video.